Confession comes from Nelson. Nelson, thank you so much for this tale. It's got you a smart speaker already, whether you're forgiven or not. Father Simon and the Confessions Collective, says Nelson. I always listen to your radio show. I love it, having grown up in the 60s and 70s. I think you might be confusing me with Pete Murray, actually, to be honest, but there you go. As I wasn't,
Nice start.
I was at school then. So anyway, however, I need to confess and would like forgiveness, the following. When I left school in 1968, I joined the Ministry of Defence, the MOD, as a youngster, hoping to work my way up the ladder. As you know, the MOD, the Ministry of Defence, the principal objectives, defend the UK of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, its interests, and to strengthen the international peace and stability of the world. Also, the MOD manages day-to-day running of the armed forces. In short, this was inspirational work for a 15-year-old who had no experience of working life. Therefore, I started as a messenger boy, delivering post around the huge site on my trusted carrier bike, like the one in the Hovis ad going up the hill. Therefore, obviously, given my lowly position, I didn't have a lot of contact with the top brass, the chiefs of the defence staff, the First Sea Lord, the admirals, the field marshals and so on. They were not a part of my life.
No.
However, one day, the top man of this MOD site, the Superintendent Armament Supply Officer, known as Sasso, called my boss, who then told me to report to Sasso's office immediately. And needless to say, I was very worried, thinking I'd done something terribly wrong. I climbed the stairs to arrive at this very plush office. I knocked and a voice said, "Come!" He was...
Oh, here we
go. He was sitting his rather large leather chair with his feet on the table, not to spoil the shag pile carpet, I think, with, shall we call it a box, on his desk. Okay, well, let's
call it a box. Yeah.
He said, "Now, I have an important job for you, young fella, my lad." And he pushed this, shall we call it a box, to the side of this enormous desk. "I want you to take this," shall we call it a box? Let's call it a box. "I want you to take this box to the Admiralty Superintendent's residence in Portsmouth Dockyard. Before you say how," I was just about to say how, "before you say how, I have my chauffeur coming to pick you up right now. He's going to take you to the pier. You know the pier?" "Yes, I do, sir." "What do they use the pier for?" "They use it for unloading spent ammunition, sir." "Correct. Well done. There'll be a police launch boat waiting for you and a car the other side that will collect you. Guard the box, as we're calling it. Off you go. Tell no one." Well, this was intriguing, as I'm a 15-year-old lad. What is in this so-called box? So I go downstairs, and there arrived a big limo. I got in and arrived at the pier, you know, the pier where they unload spent ammunition.
Of course.
A police launch boat was waiting. An officer shouted, "Hurry up, you horrible little man. We've been waiting for you."
2 accents. Amazing. This is great.
Haven't finished yet.
Really?
I board the launch and it speeds across the harbour, which is only a short distance. Anyway, going across the harbour, I see another limo waiting. I get off the launch, straight into the second limo, whilst guarding this box carefully. I arrive at a huge mansion, and a guy meets me suspiciously, and he says, "Did Sasso send you?" I said, "Yeah." "Jolly good. We've been waiting for you. Follow me." Voice number 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
I end up in an enormous room with lots of people. The box is taken from me as the guy says, "Was everything okay? You didn't... Are we calling it a box?" "Yes, I'm calling it a box." "You didn't drop it or anything? Did you show it to anyone?" "I didn't show it to anyone, honestly. I guarded it very carefully." He smiles and says, "Great. Now we can proceed. Good man. The minister will be very pleased with you."
Ray Winston. Lovely.
Thank you, yeah. When I returned to the office, many people who saw me said, "Go on then, tell us what was in the box." And I said... I sucked my teeth. "Classified urgent documents. You know the Soviet invasion of Czechoslovakia?"
Right.
Yes, they're not, because it's 1968 and it's on the news.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, I tapped my nose at this point. Secret people have secret work. They have to do it, and left to be getting on with it. I tapped my nose again. "But now, Father Simon, it is time that I came clean. I did not have the stomach to tell them then, but I have the stomach to tell you now that I was used to deliver a birthday cake.
Ah, right, okay. So-called box, yeah.
It was a so-called cake in a so-called box, Victoria sponge.
Lovely.
Hundreds of thousands. To this day, everybody I spoke to believed my lie. I spent 12 years in the MOD before leaving and going into the real world. Can I be forgiven, please? Yes, this is a true story. According to Nelson. Anyway, I thought he wrote that very nicely, and, it was... Could have been weapons, could have been ammunition, could have been secret documents.
Yeah.
It turned out it was a cake, obviously. Sister Susie from the pub, what are you saying to Nelson?
Oh, well, Nelson, how exciting for a 15-year-old. Must have felt like Mission Impossible. I don't think there was any malice. I think it was a bit of fun, and we got to hear some accents, including Ray Winston, which is one of my favourites. So for me,
Obviously.
forgiven.
Obviously.
3 accents. You can include as many different accents, requirements. I can do pretty much anything as you write your confession. But, Matt, what are you saying?
Well, there's no chocolate fudging this confession, I think, or finding oneself upside down with the verdict. I'm going to forgive because, you know what, I mean, it's Sasso's decision to put the cake in the box, isn't it? It's not down to Nelson. I mean, he's doing what he's been told. So, tie it in with the Soviets. Lovely. Definitely forgiven.